We kick off the Lenten season with this very challenging gospel, but traditionally, before we got scrupulous about keeping exactly 40 days, excluding Sundays, when Lent began on a Sunday, the first Sunday of Lent, the only reason we have the 4 extra days is to make up for they got really, in the Middle Ages, they got very, very finicky about everything had to be exact. So we start in the middle of the week. But the Sunday gospel, I think, is the important one because it always talks about Jesus being driven out into the desert by the Spirit. And that's what we do, what we need to do in Lent. We have to be driven into a desert experience. And if you've ever been in a desert area, you know that things are brighter, they're clearer, they're crisper. There's less of things. And so you can really center. You can hear better. You can see better. You're more in touch with your surroundings because there's so little surrounding you. And that's what Lent is meant to be. It's a time to enter into a desert experience. Now, the way we do that will vary from age to age and from person to person. But the 3 typical things were prayer, more prayer, fasting, abstaining from some good things in order to experience that sense of emptiness, which is a sacramental experience of our desire and yearning for God. And almsgiving, which reminds us that Lent is not a narcissistic experience. It's not something I am doing, it is something we, as the disciples of Christ, are doing together for the next 40 days to prepare some people for baptism, but to repair the rest of us who have been baptized for a long time. So prayer, we must enter into more prayer. That means time. It also means quality. And each one has to answer that question, that how-to, for themselves. Fasting, abstaining from something that gives us more time for God, perhaps. Not food so much. But we could go into an electronic fast for the next 40 days. Could you live without your cell? But imagine how much time you would have without it. You would not be at the beck and call of the world, as an old priest used to say to me when his phone rang. I said, "Father, your phone." "I am not at the beck and call of the whole world." True, we're not. And almsgiving, which of course always reminds us that we're in this together and that we need to take care of the poor. St. Augustine once gave an Ash Wednesday sermon, and he got to the end and everybody clapped in the congregation. And he said, "Your clapping is like the leaves on the tree, but we're interested in fruit."